My brother thought 2 minutes underwater was funny. I spent 2 years unconscious and lost everything. Now I'm coming for revenge. The neurologist's words felt like they were coming from underwater, distorted and impossible to process. Severe hypoxic brain injury, she explained. 2 years and 3 months you've been unconscious. Your family has been waiting a very long time for this moment, but I couldn't focus because my body felt wrong, alien. My fingers wouldn't grip the bedsheet. My legs lay motionless under the blanket, refusing commands my brain sent. When I tried to ask what happened, the sounds from my throat were garbled, my tongue thick and uncooperative. My mother sat beside the bed, looking a decade older than my last memory, her hair completely gray now and her face carved with lines of exhaustion. She held my hand while crying, squeezing my fingers like she was afraid I'd disappear if she let go. My father stood by the window with his back to us, his shoulders shaking. Neither looked like the parents I remembered from the pool party. That had been in July, 4th of July, specifically, at Uncle Raymond's house. Now my mother was saying it was October, and the year had advanced twice. 730 days of my life, simply erased. The physical therapist arrived within an hour, a man named Julius, who explained my muscles had atrophied severely during the coma, that I'd need to relearn basic motor functions. When he tried to help me sit up, my body wouldn't cooperate. My core muscles had forgotten how to engage, my balance was shot, and moving from horizontal to vertical left me dizzy and nauseous. Julius supported my weight while I fought tears of humiliation. I'd been an engineering student at MIT on a full scholarship before the pool party. Now I couldn't sit up without assistance. My older brother Damien visited that afternoon, and something felt immediately wrong. He came in carrying flowers and wearing an expression of relief that seemed practiced rather than genuine. When he grabbed my hand and said he'd been praying for me to wake up, his grip felt performative. He talked about how guilty he'd felt, how the accident had haunted him, but his eyes kept darting away from mine, and when I tried to ask what happened at the pool, he changed the subject quickly, said we'd talk about that later when I was stronger. My mother agreed, saying I needed to focus on recovery first. The way they exchanged glances made my stomach clench. The cognitive assessment came the next day, Dr. Wu administering tests that revealed the extent of my brain damage. She showed me pictures, and I struggled to name simple objects. A chair took me 30 seconds. An apple made me say orange first. She asked me to count backward from 100, and I got lost in the 70s. She had me write my name, and the letters came out shaky and childish. The number she finally gave me was devastating. I tested at roughly a 12-year-old level despite being 22 years old. My memories of the pool party existed in fragments, unreliable and dreamlike. I remembered the heat, the smell of chlorine and charcoal smoke, my cousin's new GoPro camera that everyone was playing with underwater. I remembered Damien challenging me to a breath-holding contest for money, $100 to whoever could stay under longest. I remembered diving down, the water cool against my skin, my lungs starting to burn, then nothing. The next clear thought was waking in this hospital bed 2 years later. Julius worked with me daily, and progress was agonizingly slow. Day 3, I managed to sit up unassisted for 30 seconds before exhaustion made me collapse. Day 5, I moved my legs voluntarily for the first time. Day 8, I stood with support, my legs shaking violently. Every small victory came with the crushing awareness of how far I'd fallen. I'd been running 5 miles daily before the pool party. Now walking 10 feet to the bathroom required assistance. My best friend from MIT, Terrence, visited during week 2, and his face when he saw me was devastating. He tried to hide his shock, but I saw it. The horror of seeing someone who'd been brilliant reduced to someone who struggled with basic cognition. He told me about graduation, about the engineering jobs our classmates had landed. Each piece of information was another thing stolen from me. My scholarship had been terminated. My dorm room had been cleared out. My research had been reassigned. MIT had moved on without me. Damien came back during week 3 and brought photos on his phone. He showed me pictures from the pool party, images of family swimming and eating. There was one of him and me by the pool edge, both grinning, taken maybe an hour before everything went wrong. He swiped through more photos, and I saw his life had continued without interruption during my coma. Pictures of him at graduation from State University. Pictures from his new job at an engineering firm. Pictures of him moving into a nice apartment downtown. When I asked what degree he'd gotten, he said mechanical engineering with emphasis in robotics. The same degree I'd been pursuing at MIT before the accident. The police report arrived during week 4. It described the incident as an accidental near drowning during a voluntary breath-holding competition between brothers. Multiple witnesses stated both parties had participated willingly, and the extended submersion was not intentional. Damien had pulled me from the pool as soon as he realized I wasn't surfacing voluntarily. The investigation determined no criminal negligence. Case closed. But something about the phrasing bothered me in ways I couldn't articulate with my damaged cognition. And what I discovered next about that day would change